Today on Sledhead 24/7, a dream destination as we ride the trails of northern Minnesota along the mighty Lake Superior. Hey Levi, what's under there? Find out what Levi Lavelle is about to unveil. These ATVs work around the clock in extreme weather. Find out what they rely on when the stakes are high and engine trouble is not an option. It's early, but we've got a few nominees for epic GoPro shots of the year. Hang on, Sledhead 24/7 starts right now.
Let's see if we can get you guys stuck.
Welcome everyone to another episode of Sledhead 24/7, your show for everything snowmobile. I'm your host Chelsea Scourge, coming to you this weekend from Canterbury Snowcross. It's known as the Daytona of Snowcross. We have a special guest with us this time. It is Josie Christian. Now Josie, you have been on the front lines of the Snowcross series the entire year. Tell us about some of the storylines.
Yes, there's so much going on this season. We have Cody Cam, who wants to keep that title he has. He even switched from 53 to number 1, so he has that big target on his back. But we have Tucker, who wants to get back on top, and he's been showing that this year. Last night, he had a little off on his sled, which caused Cody to lead that whole race. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the races play out, especially with these new cats. They have a longer track, which is super good for Arctic Cat, but the other manufacturers are coming out with new sleds, so we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely, from here on out, it's go, go, go almost every single weekend for the Amsoil Snowcross Series. Speaking of the Amsoil Snowcross Series, it's a busy, busy time here at the races, and there's no way that these guys could get it done without the use of their side-by-sides and their ATVs. Let's take a look.
When the world's greatest snowcross racers get ready to race, it's a really big show.
Could come into play here. Oh, and Tucker dives down underneath. Tucker dived down underneath, was able to make the pass. What a racing move. The Round 1 Amsoil Pro Final is underway.
More than 100 crew members are required to be race ready. Flaggers, medical, network TV, and the backbone, the ISOC operations crew who literally create the track and everything around it.
Yeah, the ops crew usually shows up to a snowcross race Sunday before the event. We're here for at least 7 days, working at least 12-hour days, putting everything you see on the track. We put everything up, and after the race is over, we have to put it all in trailers and go to the next event.
A key to the ops crew success, their trusty ATVs and UTVs.
Oh, we need them all the time. They're very reliable. They start when we need them to start.
About 22 below. They do great in the cold weather because of the oil we use.
Running around the clock in extreme cold is the ultimate test for an engine and the oil. And when the stakes are high, the ISOC crew relies on Amsoil.
Testing has shown that in extreme cold temperature, the oils will perform differently. We actually ran some testing in our lab to prove this. We ran some of the popular manufacturers' products, put them side by side in a freezer, and we actually pour tested them. This is an example of what's going on in your engine.
Well, it's key. It's just getting them started when it's that cold. You notice that with all the Amsoil products, whether it's your car, your truck, or your ATV, it starts when it's cold out and it moves around. And for those guys, I mean, they're like little ninja monkeys out there having to run around with those side-by-sides and ATVs all day, keeping the track up. If flags get knocked over, if a fence gets hit or something. So it's part of the show.
When the last flag has been waved and the crowds have gone home, the ops crew gets down to business with another all-nighter. From teardown to build-up, they can't wait to do it all over again.
I love this job because I love snowmobiles and I just love being outside.
From the FXR mobile medical team to the ops crew, the guys could not get everything done without the use of their ATVs and side-by-sides, and thanks to AMSOIL, those products keep running all season long. More to come right after this.
When Sledhead 24/7 returns, our Ram road trip takes to the CJ Ramstead Trail in northern Minnesota and a great place for base camp. Discover how network TV coverage has been upgraded by the latest GoPro. And Jeff Fisher is on assignment, if you can call it that, to discover the latest news from Polaris.
Sledhead 24/7 is brought to you by AMSOIL, protect your weekend, by Polaris, Terrain Domination, Arctic, share our passion, Skidoo Snowmobiles, what matters is what's next, and by Ram Trucks, proven to last.
Welcome back to Sledhead 24/7. Now when I'm out riding, I am always looking for something warm to wear, and FXR gear is my top choice for riding gear. Now if you're looking for somewhere to ride up in northern Minnesota, there really is no better place to be. And why not make a weekend of it at Black Bear? They've got fun, games, food, everything that you need to make a memorable weekend.
The beauty of Minnesota's North Shore is undisputed. Along the shores of mighty Lake Superior, the Sledhead 24/7 Ram takes us on another great road trip. If you're looking for a base camp for your riding adventure, Black Bear Casino and Resort has all a snowmobiler needs. For a quarter century, Black Bear has been providing round-the-clock amenities, large comfy rooms, and all of it located in the middle of some of the best riding on planet Earth. Just outside of Duluth, near Carlton, Minnesota, the gateway to up north.
The beauty of northern Minnesota starts, of course, with Lake Superior. And you can go all the way up the Canadian border and you'll see lots of the lake all the way up. We have Chattahoochee State Park, Manitou, Cascade River, all those places. You're out riding on your snowmobile, and especially if you're riding with your family, you take it a little bit slower than some of the other people might be, and you'll get to see all sorts of things. You'll be up and down the trail, up hills, down hills, and there's shelters. There's 14 shelters between here and Grand Marais to stop and do hot dogs, and you only cross very few roads.
The CJ Ramstead Trail runs 146 miles from Duluth to Grand Marais, winding through the forest on the ridgeline overlooking Lake Superior. The trail provides access to some of the most rugged and beautiful scenery in Minnesota. It connects hundreds of miles of snowmobile club trails and communities in the North Country.
We are considered to be the snow part and the best snowmobiling in the state of Minnesota. And as weather has changed, we are still the part of Minnesota that has snow guaranteed winter riding. And from where we are here at the Martin Road parking lot, we are at the beginning of the CJ Ramstead North Shore Trail. And from here you can ride to Grand Marais, and then from Grand Marais you can actually go on up through the reservation all the way to Pigeon River. And it is, I do believe, the most scenic trail in the whole state of Minnesota.
Named for the late, great CJ Ramstead, known as Mr. Snowmobile, CJ was a journalist and snowmobile ambassador. Today, the spirit of CJ lives on mile after beautiful mile.
Well, CJ Ramstead was an avid snowmobiler, and he was a writer, a photographer, and editor of Snowmobile magazine, and he was more than happy to take anybody for a ride, and the CJ Ramstead North Shore Trail was his favorite trail to ride.
Clubs like the Duluth Drift Toppers do their part by grooming the miles of trails.
We run a tucker, and between it and the drag, they're about 22 feet long, 8 feet wide. A tucker is unique because they run 4 rubber tracks, but you actually drive it like you do a car or a truck. And ours is quite a powerful. It's got the bigger of the gas engines in it, and we get between 4 and 8 miles to the gallon. 4 miles when it's heavy snow, 8 miles when we're just packing and the trail is pretty smooth.
The trails lead to plenty of interesting places, and Billy's is one of them. This cozy spot has been serving hungry snowmobilers for close to 3 decades.
We're just a little country bar. Well, scooping up all the goodness, it's chicken, fresh chicken breast, fresh mushrooms, onions, bourbon sauce, Swiss cheese on a hoagie. It's an urban garlic cream cheese that goes on the Billy Burger. It's just ooey and gooey and nummy. It's good stuff. French fries, a little bit of seasoning. Urban garlic cream cheese, 3rd pound Angus patty, and fresh cut French fries.
I present to you the Billy Burger.
Back on the trail, our ride takes us to places you could never visit in the summer. And traveling into the backlands helps stir the soul. And perhaps Duluth-based outdoor writer Sam Cook said it best.
This is what happens when we leave behind the warmth and comfort of our winter lairs and get out there. We discover things. Sometimes the things we discover are right in front of us, like the birch and the moon glow. But sometimes they're inside of us. Something we had forgotten or meant to do, or something that never occurred to us before.
It's always a great time to head up north for riding. I'm joined now by Matt from FXR. Now Matt, you work on the design crew. Tell us about the gear you're wearing.
Wow, well this jacket, it's one of the darker options that we have that we're looking at for next year as part of our 2019 collection, when you really just want to blend in and you don't want to stand out, right? No, this is one of our bright ones, our bold pieces for next year that I'm wearing. It's an all new look for us. It's called our helium design.
Awesome.
So it's something that you'll see some of our racers, you know, we're here in Shakopee this weekend. You're gonna see some of our top guys like Cody Cam or Peter Narsa or Kyle Pleen. Or I've got this jacket here, you see for Corin Todd that he's gonna be wearing out there. And it's a really cool weekend for us because of course we've got the Supercross happening in Anaheim this weekend. And we've got all of our top riders in Supercross and all of our top riders here in Canterbury debuting this all new design for us. So it's part of an MX collection release that we've got happening right now, but it's also part of a new design that we're gonna have available for next year for snowmobile too. So we're pretty excited about that.
And when can people start ordering?
So a piece like this for snow is something that you'll be able to get next September at your dealer or online, that sort of thing.
Perfect.
Through
Well,
FXR Connection.
We'll be marking our calendars down to September then. Gear
No
looks
doubt, cool.
awesome. I mean, every single year we come to Canterbury debuting new gear, and we're always impressed with what's new from FXR. We'll be right back with more after this.
Still ahead, find out why this new Polaris has so many sledheads flat out excited. Jeff Fisher is on the story and will share the details.
Welcome back to Sledhead 24/7. I'm your host, Chelsea Skorich. One of our favorite tools to use when we're taping on the track and out on the trails is the GoPro. Now, GoPro just came out with the new Hero 6. Let's find out more about GoPro.
On the trail or the track, folks want to make a memory. Roughly the size of a cell phone, the startling images and ease of use have made the GoPro the go-to POV camera.
One of the great features with GoPro is the gauges feature, and that's where it uses GPS technology and accelerometers to give you a readout on the screen of the speed, velocity, elevation, things like that, so that for extreme sports or climbing or mountain biking or anything like that, you can see how fast you're going, the route that you've taken, the G-forces that you're hitting, things like that.
You can see the GoPro in all aspects of snowmobiling, but it's really made an impact in the network TV coverage of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross. bringing race fans much closer to the action.
It is minus 85, and your eyelids kind of freeze when you blink, which is not much fun.
Well, actually, it's more like 22 Burlow. But you get the idea. The GoPro is a survivor and works well in all climates. But all GoPros are definitely not created equal. The constant upgrades to the GoPro 6 are a clear sign that the future has arrived.
They've got a very sophisticated camera, the GoPro Hero 6 with the increased image stabilization, and it has the 4K at 60 frames per second. So basically, I'm gonna shoot high speed, high definition. I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna try to get those great shots of racers taking jumps, crossing the finish lines, those good starts, things like that. It feels great to have such great new cutting edge technology. The GoPro Hero 6 is definitely a step up. I've been impressed with the way they perform, the way the video looks, the way the photos look, some of the new features, the increased stabilization is fantastic.
It's early, but we already have some candidates for the best, most epic, simply amazing GoPro shots of the season.
That's all, folks.
When Sledhead 24/7 returns, a grand unveiling from Polaris and Master of Ceremonies, Levi Lavelle.
Sledhead 24/7 is brought to you by AmSoil, protect your weekend. By FXR, world-class outerwear. By Stud Boy, traction with an attitude. Ziegler Cat, exceptional service, backing the best equipment. And by U.S. Air Force, aim high.
Welcome back to Sledhead 24/7. I'm your host, Chelsea Skorich. We're all hanging out at the Polaris booth and the crowd is starting to build. We are waiting to see what is new from Polaris. I sent my old buddy Jeff Fisher out to investigate. Let's go take a look.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram, the Pertec Snowcross National presented by Jimmy John's. The big wide track at Canterbury Park is proof that big air gets you there. We're racing near Minneapolis, site of Super Bowl 52. Canterbury Park is known as the Daytona of Snowcross, and the who's who of the snowmobile world were all on hand. Polaris VIPs were invited to witness breaking news.
It's a big press conference, unveiling for Polaris. All the media is here. Tons of consumers are here. They're introducing a new snowmobile, something new to the sport. I think you're going to like it. Let's go ask everybody else what they think it's going to be.
I'm thinking 4-stroke.
Thinking bigger than 800. 850. I'm thinking 850.
Entry level for guys like him to get into snowmobiling.
I've been hearing there's supposed to be like an entry-level sled, a smaller size, but then there's also rumor that could be something big, maybe the triple again. Who knows? Maybe a big 4-stroke turbo.
It's gonna go fast. It's gonna be beautiful. It might even fly.
I'm anxious to see what it is, but I got a little bit of insight on it, and it's gonna be cool.
As legendary Levi Lavelle helped unveil the latest sled in the Polaris family.
Stop me for a second. I'd like to introduce the all-new 2019 Polaris Indy Evo. Grab the back of that.
Wow. So cool to see this. You know, I think it's
The Indy Evo.
Well, this is a need that's been in the industry for a long time. You know, that smaller sled, that lower performing sled has kind of disappeared. And we've been working on this for years, probably most of the last decade. I started as a product manager in snowmobiles in 2008, and we were talking about it then. And so we built countless prototypes, spent a lot of time with consumer research, really got in front of people to understand what they wanted to do. And what we came up with was a machine that really fills that gap for that new rider. So this is not a kid sled, this is a new rider sled, and it's designed to be able to grow with the rider. So to add suspension travel and to add performance with the engine over time as the rider gains confidence.
It's nice to have a sled that's a little bit more limited as far as power. And the best part is it evolves as your riding does. You know, you can make the sled wider, you can make it a little stiffer. They have these different things to make it where it's not just the beginner sled, but it can kind of grow with you until you're ready to move on to a bigger, you know, 600 licker or something like that.
Was this a case of Polaris foreshadowing? Friday night in the Pro Class, Team Hinchis became the lead story. Cody Cam and teammate Peter Narsa rode hard to 1 and 2.
Oh, bumping and banging, that's going to be ugly. There is carnage down in the corner. Our early race leader is going to be Cody Cam. His teammate Narsa right behind him. This could be the opening, the door opening that Hinchis Racing and Cody Cam are hoping for. Cam's got about a 2-second lead over Peter Narsa. Cody Cam goes on to take the win.
A new sled, a new chapter, and for the riders, the fun has just begun.
Now this is a fantastic sled for that new rider in your family. Polaris never fails to excite. That's all the time we have this week for Sledhead 24/7. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Who knows, you might ride with us this winter. I'm Chelsea Skorich, and from all of us here at Sledhead 24/7, thanks for watching, and we'll see you out on the snow.
You feed me, I'm happy. You know, as long as I have some vittles in me, I'm good.